if you're in a season where you're done playing small, you're done playing around when it comes to your purpose, when it comes to your passion, and when it comes to your potential. If you are ready to fully step into the powerful woman that you are, this episode is for you. My name is Crystal, and I am the creator and host of Divine Feline, the podcast you are listening to right now. Divine Feline is a podcast for women of color who want to live authentically aligned lives. It's for women who are building something bigger than themselves that also benefits them in the process. It's for women who are using their light and their God-given purpose to pour into themselves and then to pour into others. This podcast is rooted in 3 principles: vulnerability, compassion, and transparency. Because I believe without those 3 principles, we can't begin to have honest conversations that invoke the change we want to see in our lives. So on this podcast, we have conversations ranging all different topics, rooted in wellness, self-improvement, creativity, entrepreneurship, spirituality. We discuss all of these things. However, at the root of all of these conversations is transformation and providing you guys with the tools to take what we discuss and apply them in your real lives. So thank you so much for the platform that I already have, and I'm so excited to see Divine Feline grow in 2026. So I've listed 7 habits and practices that I've observed in powerful women that we can adopt starting today and utilize to help us become the woman that we want to be. First habit. And this is one that I feel like comes up on any list when it comes to any aspect of our lives or of our identities that we are trying to transform. But I think that this should always be on the list because it is something that so many young girls and women, we are indoctrinated into this pattern. And it is probably one of the most fundamental patterns that we need to break. And one of the first patterns that we need to break in order to achieve true freedom and in order to see ourselves clearly. And that is people pleasing. Powerful women do not people please. Point blank, period. We do not people please. People pleasing is based on the validation of others. When you are people pleasing, you are seeking someone else's opinion, someone else's permission to do something for yourself in your own life. You are making yourself the passenger of your own life when you take everything to other people. You are not living your life for yourself when you are outsourcing your life and the choices that you make in your life to other people. You are actively handing your power away when you people please. When you people please, you are not only showing yourself that you cannot trust yourself to make decisions, but you are also showing others that you are actually insecure. You are showing them that you don't have true self-worth or self-trust. Because a person who trusts themselves, a person that is naturally confident in themselves, doesn't need to ask everyone around them whether they should do something. They aren't constantly seeking validation from other people because they know who they are. They trust their decision-making skills, and they know that how they feel about something is enough. People pleasing also lowers your vibration. It lowers your vibration because, once again, you're not living from a space of truth. You're not living from a space of power. You're living from a space of fear of being disliked. When you listen to how you feel about something, when something in your body is telling you, move, break up with that person, leave that job, stop being that person's friend, and you deny it, you are building dis-ease in your own body. You are building distrust with yourself. And that lowers your vibration because you are not living your authentic truth. You are living a lie. And when you are pretending to be someone that you're not to please other people or to show up in a way that isn't authentic to you, you are telling yourself that you are not enough subconsciously. Even if you think you're doing something to better yourself, if your authentic self does not feel in alignment with that, you are lowering your vibration. People pleasing doesn't only lead to resentment within ourselves, it leads to resentment in our relationships. When people are so accustomed to you being a yes man and coming at their beck and call and always making yourself so available, you are teaching people that you are expendable. You are teaching people that they don't have to do much to get your attention, to earn your time or your energy, that you're just willingly giving it out. You are showing people that you are basically a utility. You're not a person that has her own things going on, that has her own boundaries in place to protect the things she has going on. You are showing people that your energy is free to be taken and to be used. And most importantly, to never be poured into. They see you as this huge well of resources that they can pull from and never pour back into. You are doing yourself a disservice when you do that, because when the roles are reversed and you need them, you think those people are ever really going to be there for you? Absolutely not, because they don't see you as a full person with your own life outside of them. They see you as someone that is there for them whenever they need you. They see you as someone who answers their every beck and call. And the truth is, those people don't respect you. They like you and want you in their lives because of how they benefit from you. Not because of your light, not because they think you're a truly fascinating or interesting person. They just like having an audience, and they like having someone to witness them. But what about when you need the favor returned? It's never returned. And that's your fault. Powerful women do not people please because it robs them of their agency, and it robs them of trusting themselves. And one of the most important ways that we learn to embody our power is through first acknowledging it and then building a trusting relationship with it. But if you're outsourcing every decision in your life to other people, you're not even getting familiar with your own power. You're suppressing her. You're ignoring her. You're doing the opposite of what you're intending to do. So people pleasing has to go, because no one respects a people pleaser. So what do powerful women do instead? Powerful women take time to learn who they are outside of the opinions of other people and the people pleasing. Powerful women sit with themselves and they take stock of the things about themselves that they like and the things about themselves that they don't like. They take time to engage with their own light and to reflect on their past experiences that show them ways that they've either dimmed their own light or moments that have highlighted their light. And that in itself, just through observing your own experience, you will see where your value lies. So for example, last year was a very lonely, isolating year for me because I wasn't really working a full-time job. So I was alone a lot of the time, and I spent a lot of time with God. And it gave me a lot of time to reflect on my journey in this life so far and why certain relationships didn't work out, why certain jobs didn't work out, why I always felt like I got the short end of the stick in so many areas of my life. And through taking that time to sit with myself, I came to understand that people pleasing was the thing that was blocking me from stepping into my full power, from acknowledging my power, because I saw connection to others as more important than my connection to myself. I was prioritizing my connections with other people over my relationship to myself. And so when I sat with myself and I thought about relationships that didn't work out, I acknowledged that people pleasing was a huge part of that that I made myself a utility. And then I thought to myself, well, that's not all that I was. There's something about me that attracts these people. And I realized that it was my light. I have a way of making people feel very seen and understood and held by me. I'm a very nurturing energy. I'm very understanding. I'm not a judgmental person at all. I have opinions on things, but I'm not judgmental. And I can always see another person's perspective. And even if I don't agree with it, I can respect it because it's their experience. People don't usually have people in their lives like that. And people don't usually feel seen in their connections. And that's my superpower, is making you feel seen. So when I learned that that is where my value lied in my relationships, I realized I need to take that superpower and pour that back into myself. So powerful women take the time to sit with themselves and learn who they are through trusting their own experience and the reflections that come up from those experiences about themselves. And they use that as a compass to guide them into the next season of their lives. Powerful women set boundaries because they know that their existence is a blessing. They know that just by walking outside that door, they will bless another person. And some of you might be like, oh, that's narcissistic. That's conceited. All of us are blessings. But whether you are aware of that or not is something that you have to work on. I know I'm a blessing. I've seen the way that my presence has helped so many people change their mindset, change their relationships, made them think differently about themselves and the position that they were in their lives. I know that I'm a healer. I know that my presence, my words, my empathy, my love, my compassion, I know it's healing. I've lived enough life and had enough people tell me that and witnessed people's lives literally change from my words. I've witnessed that enough to know that about myself. And so you have to know that about yourself, that your existence is a blessing. And people are lucky to be around you. Hello? People are lucky to be in your vicinity. And when you know that, you understand your worth. And you understand that gold isn't just handed out to everybody. People need to earn their access to you. People need to earn the right to be in your energy. They need to earn the right to spend time with you. Because what we're not doing anymore is we're not going to entertain relationships that are not reciprocal. We are not going to entertain relationships that are more draining than they are fulfilling. Because that is a form of people pleasing. You think you owe people your time and energy for what? Because they're going to think you're mean if you tell them that you don't want to hang out with them? Respectfully, who gives a fuck? You are your greatest asset. And you have to trust that no matter what you decide in your life, you are doing it to serve your greatest good. And if you are operating from that space of knowing that I am love and I trust my intuition and I trust my power, you will not be led astray. And it's through practicing setting those boundaries with people and seeing their responses to it and dealing with the uncomfortable feelings that come from people responding poorly to your boundaries that you will grow that confidence in yourself, because you'll realize I have those boundaries for a reason. And when other people set boundaries with me, it didn't trigger me at all. Yet they are so triggered when I set boundaries, because those people are not your friends. Those people see you as a utility. Those people were used to draining your energy. And you'll find that when you set boundaries, you have a lot more energy for yourself. So powerful women say no to people, places, and circumstances that do not serve their highest good. Powerful women trust their intuition. We're going to be doing a whole episode on this because, girl, do I have a story for you about trusting your intuition, and I'm going to be spilling all the tea. So much tea will be spilled, and we'll get into that. But we're going to keep it above board for now. Powerful woman, I have this written down, so if I'm looking down, that's why. Powerful women operate between the spiritual and physical planes. Our intuition requires us to quiet the mental noise, the distractions, and to lean into our feeling. So, I want to be very clear here. There's a difference between your feelings and your intuition. Our intuition usually shows up in the form of feeling, right? Whether our nervous system feels off, whether we feel really anxious or drained or uncomfortable or suddenly angry, or we are irrationally sad. Our intuition comes through in the form of feelings. And usually that means that we're meant to explore what our intuition is saying. But I believe that our feelings are the outlet. Our intuition is the knowing. And our human body is just responding to the knowing in a way that makes it clear to us what's being communicated. So when I say powerful woman, quiet the noise, there's a lot of distractions in this 3D reality. I believe that women are portals from which spirits from the spiritual world can come into the physical world. Prime example, we're able to literally give birth. Okay. And so woman, our intuition is so powerful because we are a vessel for spirit, because we are a walking physical portal. And because of that, this gives us an edge, especially over men. And I don't hate men, but this is just something that I said just. Let me correct that. This is something that I've believed in for a while. There is nothing like a woman's intuition because we are so in tune with the divine. And I think that us being physical portals is a huge part of that. I think that there's a reason that women are deeply, deeply psychic because we are not fully operating in this 3D reality. Even if mentally we are, like maybe someone watching is an atheist, your physical body is still receiving downloads from spirit. It's about whether you choose to believe that it's spirit or not, but we are all feeling it to some degree. And so powerful women understand that this 3D reality, like this is a game that we're playing. This is an experience that we bought into for our soul's evolution. But beyond that, we understand that the spiritual world is the real world. We're all connected and spirit exists here on this 3D plane. And so when you see things from that perspective, especially in connection to your intuition, you realize that your intuition is the signal from spirit. Your intuition is the thing that spirit uses to communicate to you when it's time to move, when it's time to leave something behind, when something or someone is not good for you. We are trained to ignore that because men would call us erratic. Men have used a woman's intuition as a way to, what is the word? As a way to belittle and oppress us because they're afraid of it. They're afraid of how psychic we are. They are afraid that we can see the unseen because they don't have that ability, not as deeply as a woman does. And so our intuition is not only communication from the divine, but it's a form of protection. Anytime my intuition has spoken to me very clearly, it has always been a form of protection. Always. Protection from eating a certain food, protection from trusting someone with a secret. I've had the divine literally shut my mouth. So at the end of the day, your intuition is God's provision. You may not see how in the moment you are being protected. You may not understand what exactly it is you are being protected from. And I know that it's common for us to want to rationalize every feeling and get to the root of it. Oh, is this a trigger? Is this a childhood wound that's resurfacing? Sometimes it really just is God being like, you need to let this person go, or you need to leave this space because you cannot grow in that environment anymore because that person does not have pure intentions for you, because you cannot take that person with you. And so a lot of times we fight with our intuition because it doesn't, we believe that our intuition defies logic, but our intuition tends to be more logical than logic. And our intuition is a psychic form of protection. And if you trust in that, I promise you the logic will follow when you see exactly what it was you were protected from. Powerful women trust their intuition, and they let their intuition guide them in their lives. They use that as their internal compass. And it's a really powerful thing to do, because a lot of times the things your intuition leads you to do, like, oh, your intuition's like, go to this farmer's market at this time on Sunday. To someone else, that's so random and weird. Like, why do you think that something special is going to happen at a farmer's market? But you're like, I don't know, I just have this feeling. And it's really operating with the divine, because I believe that the divine likes to surprise us. And so you go to that farmer's market, and next thing you know, you meet your future business partner, you meet your future husband or wife. Like, I think that the happiest and the most powerful woman trust their intuition, because their intuition is always guiding them towards true alignment, because that's what spirit wants for us. So trust your intuition. Number 3, powerful women do not ask for permission. This ties back into what I said when we were talking about people pleasing, but I want to go deeper when it comes to asking for permission. So not only does asking for permission give your power away, you are giving someone else agency over your life when you ask for permission. A lot of times women ask for permission when they already know the answer, and you just want a sounding board to confirm that. But what about when you ask for permission and someone tells you no when your intuition is telling you yes? Then you feel this dis-ease in your body because you didn't get the answer you expected. Should I break up with him? Girl, no. You love him. Blah, 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 blah. He's a good man, Savannah. And then you're sitting there like, no, but I really feel like this is the right thing to do. This is what I was meant to do. Like, I don't think that this is my person. And you're going back and forth, creating all of this mental fatigue when you could have just listened to what your body was telling you. But you asked for permission, and you did it under the guise of wanting someone else to give you a different perspective, to help you see things clearly. But what you're really doing is asking for validation. And even beyond that, there's nothing wrong with asking your friends for advice or asking people that you genuinely trust for wisdom, because there are probably 2 people in my life who I would go to for advice. Literally 2 people. And that's because I've known these people for such a long time, and I trust that they have my best interest at heart. However, before I take anything to anyone else, I take it to God first. And usually when I'm talking to my friends, I'm not like, I need your opinion on something. It's more of, this is how I'm feeling about this situation. And if they share wisdom or advice, that's amazing. But usually I've already made my mind up about what I want to do. And this takes time to form this ability. It's not easy to just trust yourself, because sometimes we do make decisions out of fear. Sometimes we do make decisions out of feelings that aren't, I don't want to say aren't valid, but aren't rooted in anything real. And that's why you have to practice building that muscle with trusting your intuition, because you won't know if it's you being, You won't know if it's you being emotionally reactive, or if you are operating from a space of knowing and listening to God. So powerful women don't ask for permission. They take any questions they have to God first. And they trust that God will give them the clarity in a way that they will receive it best. For example, sometimes God will communicate to you through other people. So for me, God knows I will communicate to her through someone that she trusts and respects, or maybe if she's getting a reading, I will communicate what she needs to hear through these mediums because I know that this is where she sources her information, or these are sources that she trusts and believes in. Or sometimes God may communicate with you through signs, through numbers, through tiny synchronicities that only you would understand, right? So you don't need to ask for permission from other people because, again, that shows a lack of confidence in yourself. You are giving the responsibility of making decisions for your life to other people, and you're not taking responsibility for your life. You're avoiding it through doing that. So number 4, powerful women don't over-explain themselves or their choices to other people. You don't owe anyone an explanation. No is a no. No is a full sentence. Your boundary communicates everything a person needs to know. And you will find that when you set boundaries with people that are used to you not having any, you will see how your boundaries will be tested, pushed, and oftentimes dismissed. I've had friends who I've known for years, and when I started setting boundaries and being clear about the things that I wanted to talk about, things that I no longer wanted to do, I would see the ways that they would push that boundary. So if I said to a friend, I really want to stop drinking, and then we go out and we're ordering food, and I'm like, I'm gonna get a water, and they're like, oh no, but just get a drink with me, please, one last time, get a drink with me. Quitting something like consuming alcohol or a certain substance, that can be very hard for people in a society where, that's pretty much the norm. And so in the beginning, I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, if you really want me to, if you feel like you need support in having a drink, I'll just put my boundary to the side. And what did that teach that person? Oh, her boundaries aren't for real. She's not for real. She doesn't really mean that. I can just keep pushing and she'll just do what I want her to do. So when I realized that, and I would leave feeling ashamed of myself because I violated my own boundary, I realized, okay, a no is a no, and I have to stick by that no. And if there's anyone in my life that is pushing my boundaries, we need to have a conversation about that, or they need to go. Because if I am someone who is very respectful of other people's boundaries, then they should be respectful of mine. So you don't owe anyone an explanation. It doesn't matter if it's your best friend. It doesn't matter if it's your mama. A no is a no. You know the reason. You don't have to broadcast it to the world. And the reason that people are asking for clarification on your boundaries and why they exist, it's not to understand you 9 times out of 10. It's for them to argue with you. So now you're just wasting your energy over explaining yourself to someone that really doesn't care about your reasoning to begin with. You have to remember that at the end of the day, your boundaries and your reasons for having them are personal. They are private. There is something that you developed in private based on things that you've learned and witnessed in your own life. And you share them and the reasoning behind them with who you want to, when you want to. And also remember that you don't ever have to. So don't let anyone bully you into explaining yourself. Over-explaining drains your energy and it invites in monitoring spirits and unnecessary criticism. Number 5, powerful women prioritize themselves because they know they are the prize. So this ties back into what I said earlier about us being literal walking miracles. Still stand by that, 100%. How can we expect other people to respect us if we don't respect ourselves? And we don't embody that every single day and in every single interaction that we have. When we are building this new identity of fully living in our power, we are going to have to reckon with the fact that other people cannot come first in our lives, not before us. When you are a powerful woman, you prioritize yourself because you are the prize. And the thing that people love about you and feed off of is the fact that you understand that you are a priority in your life. You understand the power of your energy, the power of your time, the power of your wisdom. So you don't just give that to everybody whenever they want it. People have limited access to you because you are spending time investing in and building yourself. People aren't impressed by people pleasers. People aren't impressed by people who don't see their worth and who are self-sacrificing. A powerful woman is a woman who walks into a room knowing that she is that girl, and knowing that the reason that she is that girl is because of how much work and love and effort she's poured into building the woman that she sees when she looks in the mirror. So when we prioritize ourselves, that looks like taking care of our mental health, going to therapy if you need it, and asking for help. I can confidently say that this year I will be going to therapy for the first time in my life. And it's not because I felt like there was a sort of stigma around going to therapy. I just was very used to taking my problems to God and solving my issues myself. But now I'm in a season of I'm ready to hand off what I do not feel qualified to carry anymore. And that was something that actually was very relieving to me, because it's like I don't have to do this alone. There are resources in this world. So prioritizing your mental health, prioritizing your physical health, eating clean. It's not just good for your physical body, it's good for your spirit. When you eat well, it teaches your body to trust you. Oh, she will take care of me. Taking care of your emotional health and your spiritual health, taking time in your day to connect with God, taking time in your day to check in with yourself, whether that's through journaling, whether that's through walking, whether that's through working out, spending time with your friends, whatever it is that enhances your emotional health and your spiritual awareness. For me, I take at least one day a week to dance. Like Wednesdays, today is a Wednesday when I'm filming this. Like after this video, I'm going to take myself for a walk. Maybe I might get myself a little sweet treat, and then I'm going to dance, because dancing makes me happy. It brings me joy. It helps me fight seasonal depression. And sure, there may be people that want to hang out with me right now, that want me to help them with X, Y, and Z right now. All I have capacity for right now in this season of my life is building myself. And so if that means I have to turn some people down in order to prioritize myself and my well-being, I'm going to do that. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. So powerful women take care of themselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Powerful women invest in themselves. They invest in their education. They invest in their physical appearance. They invest in building skills. So when I say like investing in your physical appearance, I'm not talking about going and getting Botox. Like if that's what you want to do, that's completely fine. Like if you feel like you need that, or that's something that's going to make you more confident, your body, your choice. What I mean by investing in your appearance, it's like understanding what look actually embodies like the version of you that you are becoming, right? So for example, I just dyed my hair black 2 days ago. My best friend dyed it for me. My hair was like this like brownish blonde situation for a while. And while I liked it at the time, I realized that a lot more people liked it than I did. And I got to a point where I was like, I don't really care if you guys love it. Like people were like, don't dye your hair black. Like it's gonna take so long to get it out. What if you want to go lighter again? I'm like, no, like this hair does not feel like me. Like, okay, cool. You guys like it. I'm over it. This doesn't feel like the version of myself that I am right now. And I also think that black suits my features a little bit better. I love the way that it makes my skin pop, and I think it makes me look very magnetic, and this haircut is giving grown woman, and that's how I feel in this season of my life. So taking care of your physical appearance is making sure that you show up as the best version of yourself every single day. And it also just boosts your confidence. Like for me, when I was in high school, I used to dress up before a test. And people would be like, oh my gosh, why are you so dressed up? Is it your birthday? Like, da-da-da. I'd be like, girl, no, I'm just trying to pass this test. And even though I didn't really understand it at the time or had the words to articulate it, I knew intuitively when I look good, I feel good and I perform better. So being a powerful woman is understanding the power that physical beauty does play in our role as women. You know, we are magnetic, we are beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with paying attention to that. There's nothing wrong with highlighting that. I think that it helps with your confidence and it helps attract opportunities to you. Understanding what certain hair colors, what makeup looks, what clothing suits you best. It's not about impressing anyone, although it will. That is just a side effect of it, a positive side effect, but it's about showing up as the woman that you see yourself as. Like, you want to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, this feels like me right now. And it could change over time. We're always evolving, but it's like in this moment, like this gray shirt and this necklace and these gold earrings and this jet black hair, this shortcut, like this feels like me in this moment in my life. And I feel confident because I'm literally embodying who I feel I am on the inside. Like, this is how I feel I look like on the inside. So yeah, I want my external appearance to match that. So powerful women prioritize these things because they understand the value in them. Even, you know, prioritizing or investing in your education, investing in learning new skills, that increases your value as a human being, not in the sense of always making money in this society, but in the sense of being able to help others, in the sense of being able to build, and in the sense of growing as a human being. You know, people say entrepreneurship is one of the best journeys one can go on because it's so much more than learning how to make money. It's literally about building relationships. It's about building self-confidence to be able to promote yourself. It's about being more dedicated to the quality of something versus the quantity of it, and understanding where your morals lie, where your integrity lies. It's about understanding that, you know, we're not just operating on a physical plane, we're operating on a spiritual plane as well. And so our business is a reflection of our development and our mindset. So powerful women understand this, that all of these things will help them grow as individuals and will help them build the lives that they want. Powerful women understand that being selfish and prioritizing themselves first in their own lives is survival. Most powerful women didn't start their journeys understanding their power. Most powerful women were probably in the situation or in the version of themselves that you might be in this video right now, because they had to go through these experiences that awakened the power within them, that reminded them of their power. And so a lot of times we aren't aware of our power until it's violated. Whether it's someone not respecting a boundary, whether it's silencing ourselves to keep other people comfortable, whether it's overgiving and pouring into others more than we're pouring into ourselves and being left with the remnants of that and the regret and the resentment and the anger and all of that heaviness, right? So being selfish is survival as a powerful woman because you are the asset. You have to prioritize yourself before anyone else can benefit from you. You have to benefit from your existence first, because once you benefit from your existence, now you're in this space where you are able to give freely and in a way that is in flow with you, but also in a way that honors your boundaries. When you are being selfish, it's not to say that you aren't a giving, loving, considerate person. It is to say that your well-being comes first, because if I am giving to others more than I'm giving to myself, then the quality of what I am giving is poor. You are only getting as much as the capacity that I have to give myself. So if I want to build a business that, which I am building, by the way, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that in another episode, but if I want to build a business that is about protecting the well-being of women, like for me, hormonal wellness is super important to me, and I love being an advocate for that cause because it's a really important cause to care about and to be educated on. But if I'm building this product, right, to help this cause, but I'm here neglecting myself, right? I'm not paying attention to my own hormones. I'm not paying attention to what I'm putting in my body. I'm not taking the blood test and learning about myself. I'm not reading the books and educating myself. How am I going to genuinely help people transform their lives or educate people if I'm not educated first? Right? If I am not doing the work first. The healing that you do on yourself is what you will be able to help other people do. So you have to come first. Otherwise, you're pouring from an empty cup and people are only getting a superficial version of what you're truly able to give. Number 6, powerful women understand the power of discernment. This means that powerful women are selective of where they spend their time, their energy, and their resources, because they understand that not every opportunity or individual or situation that comes their way, that happens to them, is going to benefit them or is for their greatest good, I should say, because I do think that there is a lesson in everything, but not everything that comes our way is for us, right? I do believe that God will test us to see if we will fall back into old patterns, because that will then define whether we are able to carry the blessing that is coming with us into the next season. So as a powerful woman, you already understand that you are magnetic because you are operating from a frequency of authenticity and love and self-respect and confidence. So that in itself, you just understanding your worth makes you incredibly magnetic. Now, while it is true that who you are is what you will attract, what you embody is what you will attract, you will also attract lower vibrational people, things, and places that are used as a test to see if you've really outgrown the spaces you've left behind, the habits you've left behind, the identity you've left behind. So an example of this is energy vampires. If you are an ex people pleaser, welcome to the team, babe. Like, truly, God bless, because God, I spent so much of my life people pleasing and I had to forgive myself for that shit. But yeah, if you are an ex people pleaser, you will be tested with energy vampires. Believe that. For me, I always wanted to keep the peace. I valued connection over my own well-being most of the time. I thought that self-sacrifice was the form of unconditional love. I thought that I had to suffer to be loved and to be respected and to be cared about and to be thought of. It was a difficult time healing that childhood wound because I didn't understand why I believed that. And it wasn't until I got into a healthy relationship that I understood that I had that unhealthy mindset, that I felt like I had to always be on. I always had to be giving, doing, producing to be worthy of love and respect and kindness from people in my life. And so when you are no longer in that energy of people pleasing and you're in your I don't give a fuck era, you will attract those energy vampires, babe, because God is going to test you. Are you really done with that? Are you really done with the people pleasing? Are you really living in alignment with yourself? Are you really trusting yourself? Are you really trusting the signs I'm sending you? Do you trust in your own internal compass more than you trust in others? So powerful women do not entertain energy vampires. They do not, because they know that energy vampires are feeding off of their light, are feeding off of their time and their energy, and it's a parasitic relationship. It's not reciprocal at all. And so if it's not reciprocal, why is it in my life? I'm giving more than I'm receiving. This isn't benefiting me at all. What are we doing? A powerful woman patiently assesses her next move. All of this falls under the category of discernment, by the way. When you use your discernment, you will learn who is for you and who is against you, who is here to help uplift you and to help you grow as a human being, and who is here to just take from you and to benefit off of your hard work. Powerful women patiently assess their next move and who and what they invest in. So powerful women operate from clarity, not fear. When you make decisions, it's not rooted in a scarcity mindset. It's rooted in strategy. It's rooted in a deep knowing. It's rooted in purpose. When you make big decisions about your life, not even only big decisions, sometimes small decisions like, oh, should I continue a relationship with this person? You understand that from a higher perspective, you are seeing your life as a chessboard. And there are certain players that cannot stay in the game because it will bring down the rest of the team. It will hinder you from achieving your objective. And so this isn't to say that like people are pawns and they're disposable, but it is to say that if you are building the life that you want, right? And we are the creators of our own reality. Why are we letting people that are not on board with the mission even interact with us in any capacity? You know what I mean? So, being a powerful woman means assessing where your energy is going, assessing how making this decision will elevate you or if it will tear you down. And she assesses whether the people in her life will help her grow this vision, if these relationships are aligned, if these relationships were given to her by God, or if these people are distractions. And number 7, powerful women are deeply connected to the divine and understand that there is a spiritual world beyond this 3D reality. This might be controversial because maybe there's an atheist watching what I'm saying right now and being like, there's no reality beyond this one and you're delusional. To each their own. All I know is all of the women that I admire and who are in positions that I want to be in and who embody the characteristics that I either see in myself or want to, grow within myself are women of God. And I'm not assigning God to any religion. I'm just saying believing in a higher power will change everything for you. Because when you believe in God, you have an understanding that half of the stuff that happens in this world is not real. Most of it is not. And also that you are not alone in the craziness and the chaos of this world. There's nothing really reliable in this world at all. Our health isn't reliable. A lot of the people in our lives aren't reliable. Why? Because we're human. We have flaws. We make mistakes. We're imperfect. And so is the reality around us. So is the world around us. It's imperfect. But you know what is perfect? Love. And God is love. And so when you understand that, one, I don't need to take everything in my life so seriously because there is a whole world beyond what I'm experiencing, it takes you out of this like little narcissistic bubble of feeling like the whole world is out to get you or that nothing's going right and just this negative mindset that's not serving you. And it opens your mind to the idea of hope and faith and remembering that you are not alone. And I think that the most powerful women have faith in a world beyond them, have faith in a God that is loving and a God that is just. And I think that we see God in people and on this earth every single day in small, beautiful ways. And I just don't see how you can be a powerful woman if you don't have a connection to God, because God is the one that is speaking to you. The reason you even have that light is because it's an extension of God. We're amazing, like we're beautiful and we're fabulous and we're intelligent, but the way that people feel in our presence is not just a consequence of all of the work that we've done and the people that we naturally are. It's because God exists within us and we are channels for God. We are extensions of God, every single one of us, whether you're aware of your power yet or not. So to me, in order to even like have an intuition or to believe in your intuition, you have to believe in a higher power because your intuition is completely spiritual. Nothing in this 3D reality tells you to believe in your intuition. And yet, here we are listening to our intuition because it comes from somewhere beyond us. Our intuition, our psychic abilities, the deep knowing, the feeling of having a purpose, it's not man-made. It's not given to us by man. It's given to us by God. So to be a powerful woman, it's leaning into your faith when things are rough. It's having faith that things will get better, even if things don't feel like they ever will. I can't even begin to tell you guys how many times in the last year of my life I really wanted to give up. I just was so unhappy in my life and I was so confused. I felt like I was being punished by God. I felt so fucking alone, I felt like I had intense moments of gratitude and so many moments of beauty and pleasure. And then I had so many like dark, hopeless moments. And the only thing that got me through this last year was God, and knowing that all of this is happening for a reason. And it sounds corny to say in the moment until you really need to rely on that belief. And then you know what happens? You're proven right. You were proven right. And I was proven right, because had I known that the hell that I experienced last year and even in 2024 would have led me to the person that I am today, to the confidence that I have today, to the outspoken woman who uses her voice again today, who's reconnected with her creativity, who no longer entertains energy vampires, who understands her value and her worth intrinsically and will not let anyone take that shit away from her. If you had told me a year and a half ago that I would be this girl today, I would not have believed you. And if I had the choice to do it all again, as painful as it was, and as much as I don't wish what I went through on anybody, I would do it again. And that's because I had faith. So you have to have a connection to God to be a powerful woman, because that's where it all stems from. The source. Whew, girl, I felt that one. I felt that one, guys. Oh my God. Okay. But yeah. Okay, we're back. Let me stop. This is me being a Gemini and just being like, all right, I got a little too intense. But yeah, so that's it for today's episode. She's a doozy. I'm going to have a lot of fun editing her. I know she's super long, but I hope that you guys took something positive away from this video. I hope you took some wisdom away and start practicing these things today. So yeah, those are the 7 habits of a powerful, beautiful woman that allow them to truly step into their power and to embody the woman that they've always wanted to be, the woman that they already are, but now they're just showing it to the world. And you have the ability to do that too. Don't ever look at anyone and think to yourself, oh, I can't be that. Don't ever speak negativity or pessimism over your life. The world does enough of that by trying to limit your mindset, by trying to limit your belief in yourself. You have to be your biggest advocate, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can change. You have to believe that you can transform. You are not a victim in this life. You are the victor. And once you believe that, once you believe that I am not a victim, your whole world will change. I promise you, your whole reality will change, because you will take responsibility for your life. You will understand that you were a lot more powerful than you even thought. And you will understand that this is only the beginning, baby. This is only the beginning. There's so much depth to you. There's so much power that exists within you. There's so much you have to give and to pour into this world, but you have to start with yourself. You have to start with yourself. All right. On that note, I would love it if you guys could comment down below, what are some ways that you have stepped into your power as a woman? Because I think that this is such an important conversation, and I'm someone that is always reading the comments on videos, and so I would love to have a discussion down there. I know there's so many of you that have so much wisdom to share, so please feel free to comment your experience down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I know that other people watching would as well. I think I'm going to do a part 2 to this if you guys want. Let me know if you want a part 2, because I actually have 10 more things I want to share, but only if you guys want like another list. Let me know. But anyway, with that being said, I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Again, welcome to any new people that are seeing my face. Hello again to my old supporters. I love y'all down. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Stay powerful.